name is Emily Pilmonas. I have chosen the 3 important concepts from the book The Servant, which would be the model, the verb, and the environment. The first one, which is from chapter 3, the model. I chose this one to start with because it really captures the breakdown and everything of leadership according to the book. There are the multiple levels and just kind of puts everything together. Definitely everything starts to come together in this just to show what it is to be a great leader. It does contain 5 different levels, which each one is described in this chapter, and it really makes sense. I also like in the book that it started from basically the top of the model versus starting at the bottom. So you kind of work backwards in determining each level.
That's what I was wondering, what your direction was for Medicare replacement. What are you guys doing?
So the first part is the leadership. In the book, the previous chapters kind of went and had the group determine what they feel leadership is.
So we're kind of taking
then it goes to authority, service and sacrifice, love, and will. But basically, you start with will and then you work your way up to leadership while meeting all of these different levels. I definitely agreed with the middle one, the service and sacrifice, and determining to be a great leader. You definitely need to not always put yourself first and put your employees and team first. Love, that does go into the next chapter where it's the verb, it's not the feeling, which I'll get into a little bit later. But definitely leadership, I feel, always does start with the will. This also kind of went into the intentions plus actions will equal will, and then intentions minus actions equals squat, which is common sense if you ask me. Definitely intentions, you need to tell somebody, but then you actually have to do it and show them that you mean that, and that will get you the will. Chapter 4 was the verb. This is directly related to the previous chapter, chapter 3. The verb itself is love. It went into great detail. When I first heard this, I was kind of confused also, where you can't love everybody, and definitely first thought is to go towards the feeling of it. This, however, does state that it doesn't stand for the feeling, it's more of the love for. It's how you behave. It definitely goes into the effect of that love as a verb is how you are going to behave, how you treat other people, not how you feel towards them. It did go into then the forms of love, what they determined. They also pulled out the definitions of each of these, which can be found on page 124 of the book. Patience, which is basically showing self-control as a leader. The kindness is giving attention, appreciation, and encouragement. Humility, being authentic and without presence or ignorance. Respectfulness is treating others as important people. Selflessness, meeting the needs of others. Forgiveness, giving up resentment when wronged. Honesty, being free from deception. All these are great just for showing what another meaning of love, so behavior, what you need to do to show the love for your employees as a leader. The final concept that I chose was the environment. This is chapter 5. I definitely think this is one of the most important ones out of the book, as I strongly agree with. Basically, if you give a positive environment to an employee, all they can do is grow and be happy. Basically means that their surroundings around them in the workplace, the people around them, they compare that to such as a garden that as long as you treat it. I mean, obviously a garden needs water, they need food, anything like that, you will help it grow. You can't just force it to grow on its own. You do have to help it. Definitely without a good atmosphere and leadership, such as a garden will wither and die. A person will be stuck, could get into a negative atmosphere and just be down, and quite frankly, you could probably lose that employee. They'll go find something better. Obviously, this also includes being a good role model. As an environment, you want your employees to see that you are a great leader and that you're there for them, that you'll do anything to help them. This also includes giving them motivation, wanting them to do better and grow as an employee, and then also potentially grow as their own type of leader. Positivity, obviously you want to make sure that you're keeping that, the environment is positive. Negative situations will always come up regardless, but this definitely will still help. Make sure that the employee knows that they're doing a good job and that they're worth something to you. Specifically speaking of healthcare, the book did use an example that healthcare, you can't cure the injuries or illnesses. You can basically give them the medicine that they need, and the tools that they need in order to help that. So you're giving that environment to the person. In conclusion, overall, this entire book was great. It really gave kind of more personal experience of leadership, and just also the different types of environments and people that are going to be found in that, and gave a lot of great tools on how to be a great leader. Thank you.